was born dyslexic, which means even at 12, I couldn't say my ABCD. When I was younger, my mother used to use this Akan adage on me. There was a point that they used to call me Kwame Mum because I couldn't speak. Not that I didn't have the vocabulary to say what I wanted to say, but I was so afraid that I would say something, speak English and get it wrong, that I won't speak. So growing up, my biggest challenge was my ability to learn and reproduce information under pressure. So in class, if you are 50, I'll come up as maybe 49. So I grew up quite depressed. So it was not up until I found music that gave me a voice, that gave me a face.
My faith has been my base of everything up to this point. If you do not have faith, take a man's faith and their confidence and you've taken away everything from them. So as a man of God, I believe God respects our culture. That is why I have an Akan name. That is why someone has a Chinese name. Somebody has, a different perspective. Yet faith is an element that binds us together. Art also becomes a central point that draws us together. And so all my research methods as a poet, all these skills have brought me up to a divine moment. When I deliver my poetry, sometimes I sit back and listen. And I realize something else takes over. Because truth is, what 3 minutes of prayer will give me, 3 hours of rehearsal has never afforded me that level of energy.
Turn around. Turning point, yeah. He's a turn around.
How much land does a man need? This reflects one of the seminal writings of the Russian philosopher Leo Tolstoy in the year 1886. This same statement became the foundation for the launch of Virtual University in the studios of Joy 99.7 FM in the year 2008. Our charge was quite simple. How do we ensure that young people get the support they need across the world? Inherent in that, we found some of the finest minds across the world and stimulated a conversation of what will be important for our tomorrow. 17 years on, we celebrate. We pat ourselves on the back, and we are here with all these amazing young people to celebrate Virtual University at 17. Our charge is quite simple, and we have a host of individuals who will be joining us in the next 3 weeks as we celebrate Virtual University at 17. My name is Jesse Ejapon, and I'll be your anchor for today. I'm super delighted, and I'm being joined right now on stage by the legendary, the amazing, the phenomenal, the awesomeness, Okyeame Kwame!
When it's scared, it's got not two bottles and what dance.
Yange frikotia na ye mwaje fiemu na ye chesika ya ye chenu mienu say yamboga kwa ya na ye apemu if you say ya menayo ya bokambayo and that's one side I didn't answer ya menayo ya bokambayo and that's one side I didn't answer
so chilly, and over to your fridge. Hey, man, you French Chelsea, your question from bridge. Drilling, we are Empire grilling. Empty pocket, send away shit and choke to the feeling. And watch me jump with Precon. What the Visaka do, Kukum, that's kind of sad, and I buy Kajako. Yeah, whoa, Naso, or to was your bad answer. Yanka, my mom wants to laundry. When your man, I had to see the city rap, but no call Yankia. We have this as baby gun and tear here, constant, hey, yeah, probably about that way.
I said that the lumba men say that. Timmy Kasa, yeah, believe it. Scratch it, scratch it, scratch it, catch it, veg it, match it, fash it. Would that you can't get free quotia. Now you want yeah, we are got that Jessica. Yeah, chenu. Now I'm Bogapa, yeah, pay. Hey, if you say you're being now, you're walking by. And that's one side, I didn't answer. You're being now, you're walking by. And that's one side. I just do your hey, 17 years, still Ghana. Hey, go. 17. Morality, development, truth, understanding, diversity, inclusion. Still, we are fighting for all of these things.
Rockstar made it. Rockstar made it.
Now you see, and because we are fighting for these developments, we need to shake off all the stress that Ghana has been facing. It's the doctor up in the building. They say I'm the best rapper alive. And I guess I'm let's hey, Uber Germany. I feel bad you're singing. But I'm for people more dear cow invitation. Now only band statement where your imitation. Over Babel number we are West in Norway. Who could do German and Baboni visit Norway. What's somewhere you go? What's somewhere you go? Obey you when you home. What's Yashini dome? Fried rice, gardens, my better could in the bottom. Ushan, the king of the only pimping for being a gem. Over dragging, we're watching and watching around. What's so girl, you go? Let's say what's so girl, you go? What's so girl, you go? Let's say what's so girl, you go? Hey, what's your warranty? I won't see me D. Let me saw who don't see. Yeah, I will not see with tea. And Rawu won't know to stop a fan. I won't say who we are say. Oh, be about the bank over what they are. Let's see where I say now. What's so boy, you go? What's so boy, you go? What's so boy, you go? Let's go. What's so come the goo? What's so young the goo? What's so tiny goo? Wait now, be that. What's so come the goo? What's so young the goo? What's so tiny goo? Wait now, be that. What's so come the goo? What's so young the goo? What's so tiny goo? Wait now, be that. What's so come the goo? What's so young the goo? What's so tiny goo? Area fine boy, one a man a toy, oh my man a joy, a man a feeling coy. Fufu be a walk to that be a rapid no chimobi, a man for be so now we a playboy. Also all bugu, it's bad out the room. We are screaming now. I told them rap on Quan, or take back when we rap that. What that's good now producer. I will rap on Quan, who got no pop Vietnam. What's like you feeling good? How you feeling good? If you be a walk behind, if you're ready to buy, but some men swing cry, open the moon pine. What I was about to sign, I say, why they kind? What's to fear a goo or two are now be who? What's to come the goo? What's to ya the goo? What's to tiny goo? What's to come the goo? What's to ya the goo? What's to tiny goo? What's so come the group? What's so young the group? What's so tiny group? Way down. What's so come the group? What's so young the group? What's so tiny group? Now on the track so hot, cause you know we got my name on. The ladies wanna use it as a ringtone. What's so come the group? What's so tiny group? And every time you hear the track, you know just what to do. A jankamba, obiatse wa onfa onyane bada. And big yada on my side, so you free no fan ko bida. Obesi your man, you can like be a see the walker. But that people can not ready when no now they wonder. But that people can not change him, be wonder. What's what kind you go? Now what's so brother bar? What's so tiny group? What's so tiny group? What's so tiny group? Now what's so brother bar? What's so wet to my dry? Temperature now you high. Or you in your mama arena, what a belly mine. You don't have to cry, rap and you dry your eye. What's so come the group? What's so come the good day? I did what say over, yeah, man, I get fair. Almost say, who be, yeah, my share. Let's see, you can listen to the can't say, who be, don't give it up, you rock, you bro, who you who I be, yeah. What's so come the group? What's so young the group? What's so tiny group? What's so come the group? What's so young the group? What's so tiny group? What's so comely goo? What's so yanny goo? What's so tiny goo? What's so comely goo? What's so yanny goo? What's so tiny goo?
So hot, cause you know we got my name
down.
Ladies wanna use it as a ringtone.
We have a responsibility
to
keep it flowing.
What to do.
Don't let that stress put you down. You know that name, right? You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Everybody, let's go. You can do 1, 2, 3, let's go. You can do it. Shake them demons. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Shake the fire. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
You know the name, right?
You can do it. Yo, you can do it. You can do it. Now we all can do it. We can do it.
Willing the naval girls. Dedicated to my stable girls.
It's a one-mic jam.
You know what? A big thank you to Jesse Japan for welcoming us all to this important interaction, and to my dear brother Okyeame Kwame. Big bro. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You know what? My mind goes back to you are one of the guests who has done quite a number of editions of the virtual university.
No,
you
correct.
know my favorite?
You know which one?
On the 12th of March 2000, we met in the studios of Joy FM to talk about the upcoming national convocation on the 17th of the 19th.
That's the first time I heard that word, convocation.
Yes. And we hyped it and
Yes.
hyped it for the next Sunday.
Yes.
An hour later, the president announced the lockdown.
I remember.
and it didn't come off.
Yes.
It didn't come off, but that was a transition for us to begin having virtual investing in a different way. Let's welcome our young people who are with us here today. It's so nice to gather and have so much fun reflecting on 17 years. And there's so much we have in common in terms of the pillars, the values, the ethics. So let's take your music. In all that you sing, in all that you do in interacting with the audiences, let's look at some of the 3 of the biggest pillars on your mind.
On my mind, I think the first one is to make sure the content that I am creating and curating is inspiring. And inspiring in this sense means positive. It is culturally valuable to me and my grandchildren the next 50 years. And then also it is different. I look at creating something that is different and something that is moral. These are the 3 key things that I look at.
Inspiring, culturally relevant,
Yes, and moral.
and moral.
Yes.
In trying to do this, I mean, you see all the fun, you see all the excitement, but you're saying behind all that, these 3 values are real to you. How do you ensure that you are relevant 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and still relevant even today?
I think that there's only one thing that is true, which is the love of God. And truth itself is true. And so whatever it is that I'm putting out, because my core, my primary energy is going to creating music. I'm a musician, I'm an entertainer. So whatever entertainment that I'm putting out into the world, I ask the question, is it true? Is it relevant? Is it culturally viable? And if it is true, then I know it will stand the test of time. There are songs that I've done that I did it because I was chasing trends. Immediately the trend dies, that song also dies. But when I make music, which is true, when I wear something about me, which is true, when I go inside my heart and I produce the deepest, most honest expression, either being tough or being vulnerable, those things that I create, they never pass. So I think that one of the key things that has made me relevant over the years is that I'm true to my talent. I'm true and respectful to the God that gives me that talent, and I am honest to my audience. So I think it's truth, because truth never passes.
Let's explore the evolution of Okyeame Kwame between when you came out and now. Have you had to add on
education? Have you had to unlearn and relearn things just so that the presentation, the values may remain the same, but the presentation evolves to make you increasingly beneficial to your audiences?
Yes, yes. To be honest, I think that the artist or anybody that is trying to develop a transgenerational entity, be it a music career or a banking career or career, whatever you are doing,
a church.
About a church. I think that the number one currency is attention, because once you have attention, then whatever it is that you are giving to your audience, you can give it to them. And attention changes. It is very dynamic and different things are happening. Everyone is looking their phone, the television, so if you don't have the ability to refresh yourself, to educate yourself, to keep improving, at a point, whatever it is that you are selling or you are giving to the people becomes stale, boring, and it plateaus. So yes, at a point when I realized that whatever I had given to Ghana through my music, I didn't feel it was refreshing. I went back to school. I studied Ocran for my first degree. And then my music changed. After that, I became very culturally conscious. And then 5 years later, when I realized that, okay, I've given the amount of information that I can give and the ability to shock my audience, then I did a master's in marketing strategy and branding. And that also changed my direction completely. After a point, I realized that no, I need to find a bit more, information so that I'll be able. Then I did an MPhil in PR, and that also changed my direction completely. So at every single point, when I realized that the information that I'm giving to my audience is becoming stale, I get new knowledge, because with new knowledge comes new content. And yes, thank you.
Somebody come to you in the audience, young people, to ask Okyeame Kwame any questions that you might have. And while you reflect on your question, maybe let me just ask you about partnership. Yourself and Anika form an amazing partnership. Please clap for a good wife who... Now I see Sir Insia lifting his game.
Yes.
Butter, is that it?
Yes. Butter.
Yes, lifting his game. And then how big is partnership in this construct?
I think that as human beings, we are very communal and we do not work well alone. And I mean this in that it is almost impossible for humankind to be humankind without partnership. So whatever it is that you are doing, if you do not have the right partners, the ones to tell you that you promise you do this, but you are going against your word, you might have forgotten. They want to hold it. No. This is the right way to pass. No. This is the direction that we are. If you don't have someone like that to be reminding you of the promises that you have made to yourself and that you have made to the group, sometimes you get carried away. So I think that partnerships are very, very, very key. And for partnerships to work, lots of things must come in place. Compromise. Again, honesty. Again, strategy. Again, working with the vision of that group. What is that group good? And making sure that you are humble enough to allow yourself to be reminded to come back on track. And I have
that point about humility is so real. Let me go back to my young people. Just mention your first name and ask Okyeame Kwame the question that you have.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Abigail. I want to ask, what challenge have you faced so far and how did you go about it? What are some of the things you came across that you would like to advise young people to desist from or to be mindful of in our career path?
Okay.
Thank you.
So my number one challenge is that I was born dyslexic, which means even at 12, I couldn't say my ABCD. When I was younger, my mother used to use this Akan adage on me. Akokuno bete bete, udi abe. There was a point that they used to call me Kwame Mum because I couldn't speak. Not that I didn't have the vocabulary to say what I wanted to say, but I was so afraid that I will say something, speak English and get it wrong, that I won't speak. So growing up, my biggest challenge was my ability to learn and reproduce information under pressure. So in class, if you are 50, I'll come up as maybe 49. So I grew up quite depressed. So it was not up until I found music that gave me a voice, that gave me a face. So thank you. So that has been my biggest challenge. But in terms of telling young people about on your career path, or even in marriage or your relation or forming your partnerships, I want you to understand that do not pray against problems, because it is problems that bring solutions that take you to the next level. So whenever you have a problem, know that it is not happening to you, it is happening for you. So you go to work and you have a boss who seems to pick on you because you didn't let him date you. It is a great opportunity to turn out the atmosphere of the working place and bring your level of morality to bear. It is a problem. So as a young person, you work at the ministries, and there's a great opportunity for you to take a bribe so you can buy a C class. Solving that problem with all the honesty that you have been raised with is that great opportunity to help Ghana. And it is based on that you are going to get to the next level. So don't see problems as things happening to you, but see them as things happening for you. And I think that with this perspective, your life is a bit more fluid and you get a better sleep at night.
Absolutely. Let's take another question for Okyeame Kwame from the audience.
I'm Agri. So I've been a fan of you since 2009, and I want to know, first question, how do you handle your critics? And also, how do you mentor your son to be a good father like yourself?
Wow. Big questions. Thank you. So for my critics, like I said, I have changed the way my outlook on life. So nothing is happening to me. Everything is happening for me. My wife used to manage my social media pages. So immediately you write something that she thinks is opposite of making me happy, she will block you and delete it. This went on for a long time. She used to come and write, this is a fan page, if you are not a fan. But later, I came to realize that it is not everything that has been said that is opposite to who you think you are. That is negative. Sometimes, some critics are very, very important. So when someone criticizes what I'm doing, I try my best to humble myself to look at the statement. One, read the statement, and two, read between the statement and see what is the intention for this particular words that I am receiving. If it is to make me a better person, if it is fire for fire, if it is trying to sharpen my skills, I listen, I say thank you very much for this, and maybe next time I would appreciate that you put it in my DM. People have come on social media and other places to say all sorts of nasty things about me. Then I try my best to ask myself, how would Jesus have answered these questions? Now, if I answer just like that, you can see 20 more comments under saying, I've gained your respect. You have earned my respect. So the criticism it's not something that we need to see as negative, because it is that fine production line that turns a simple concept into a refined solution. So I look at criticism from a very open-minded perspective. And in terms of my children, I have come to see that when God gives you a child, it is not the time to teach anything. It's time to learn. So I am not trying to teach my children anything, because I see that they don't listen to what we say. They imitate what we do. And absolutely. Yes, they have come with their own predispositions, their own brain types, and whatever behavior it is of theirs that you are trying to cramp down, maybe that is what is their contribution to the world. So for me, ethics and morality is very, very, very high for me. I try my best to let my children see, to understand empathy, to have sympathy for others, for everything, including animals. to have sympathy for nature, to have sympathy for human beings. So that is what I'm trying to do. Because once they can think right, they will make the right choices. So that is what I'm trying to do, to bring out their ethics, to let them become socially, spiritually, and psychologically moral. So then, wherever, even if I'm dead, they will make great decisions. That's what I'm hoping.
I promise you, when we come back from the break, you get a chance to ask more questions. But Okyeame, before, this is just snipers, just bringing in our favorite people to just hang out with us. So before we sign off from this conversation, Okyeame Kwame, you and I have one thing in common. We both learned philosophy.
Yes, please.
You kept talking about ethics. You kept talking about frameworks for thought, thinking right. How big are these within the construct of human society? How big is the way we think in determining the way we live?
Senior, they say that if you don't control your thoughts, it controls you. And I think that one of the key problems that I have had with the Ghanaian education system is that we are not intentional about teaching children how to think. If you go to a regular Ghana school and you ask, define thinking, I can tell you that even at the university level, a lot of people will find it difficult to define what thinking is. So I went through the Ghana system to an MPhil level, and thinking was introduced to us through probabilities, through mathematics, but through deduction. And I think that is one of the key reasons why Accra still floods in every May, June, and July, because we have not been given the tools to think. Thinking is the most important part of humanity. And if we all do not make a special, so for someone growing up in Ghana who do not get the opportunity to learn in a classroom, or from parents who understand psychology and philosophy to teach you how to use your brain, I think it is important for you to get a self-help book from Reverend. Get a self-help book that will help you understand what is going on in your head. And once you understand what is going on in your head, your perspective on life changes completely. For me, thinking is an ideation, it's a thought, which is going through a process of problem to solution. And it's a journey. From between that journey of A and B, a lot of things are happening. And it depends on your ability to become a third-party observer, where you come out of yourself to observe what you're about to tell your wife, to tell your brother, and listen to it yourself. Evaluate it before you say it. If it is hurtful to you, then you keep quiet and don't say it at all. So I don't think that we've been given the opportunity to become second-party observers of our thoughts. And I think that is the way that we are supposed to.
As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I can't let you go, Okyeame Kwame, without giving you a chance to sign off in 1 minute with your concept of the good society. And I'll tell you why. From the very first edition of Springboard, your virtual university, till now, the one unfailing question: how do we build collectively the good society? Let me give you a chance to bite that with your thoughts in a minute.
Yes, in a minute.
What constitutes a good society to you, and how do we build it?
I think a good society is one that has diversity, that has the right appreciation of diversity, that has the right appreciation of equity, and that has the appreciation of inclusion. So you say that you can tell a society whether a society is good or not by observing the way the society treats prisoners, by observing the way the society treats people with disability, by observing the way the society creates for equal opportunity for male, female, children, men, and lowest hegemony. So for me, I think that a good society must be built on maybe these 5 principles. The first one is truth. And we all seem not, like Nietzsche said, we all seem not to be interested in truth. We are just interested in information that confirms our own biases. If we are not interested in research, in truth, there's no way we will develop. Then everything that we are doing is traditional, which is stuck in the past. There's no forward going. I think that the right society sits on the laps of ethics and morality. Without morals, there's no way Ghana will develop, because all of us are trying to become richer than the other. An education system is picking the one who comes first, promoting him, teasing the one that came last. Parents are comparing children. Look at what Amma did. Because of these things, once a child grows, he wants to win no matter what. So the right society is also built on understanding that all of us are one and still all of us are different. The right society is also the one that people realize that it is not that 1,000 politicians who are going to change the country, but each one of us. If each one of us lights the candle within ourselves, then the whole Ghana will become bright. So, not leaving the responsibility of truth, mental development, and ethical relationship, civilized ethical relationships with each other once we do business and grow our own food, not leaving it to leaders, but each one of us realizing the leadership potential in us and all of us becoming leaders. That is the way that I think we can forge the right society.
I tell you what, any day, any time, I'm happy to have Okyeame Kwame here in the studios with me. And one thing that's beautiful about our relationship, we have points of agreement and also points of divergence, and we are comfortable enough to still share fellowship together and bounce ideas either virtually or social media or in person. And when he comes to church, he sits right next to me, even though we have big disagreements, but I love him to bits. Himself and his lovely wife, Aneka.
Let me say, sir, you know, one time, I think it was on my birthday, you came to write happy birthday to me. People came to fight with you on my page that how can you go and say happy birthday to a musician? You are a pastor, how can you do that?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
But you're my brother.
Yes.
Any day you're my brother.
Thank you.
This is Springboard, your virtual university, celebrating 17 years of building the good society. If you just joined us, this is my brother Okyeame Kwame, hanging out with my favorite people, the young people. Go for a break and allow Okyeame Kwame to go make some money. I'll introduce another of our favorite people here on your virtual university. Before we come back, I also want to tell you that you'll be hearing the voices of yourselves talking about how the virtual university has been a blessing to you or what you have learned on this 17-year journey. This is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between Mastercard Foundation and Springboard. My name is Albert Ocran. Don't go away.
Good business means seeing the possibilities and maximizing opportunities. Making sure you have a responsive support system backs your business goals. A partner that gives you a stable platform with reliable connectivity and seamless solutions, and better understands the tools required to take you to the next level. With so many moving parts in running a business, we do our best to provide you with some stability. The only kind of stability you can find with MTN Business Broadband, the fastest and most reliable internet provider in Ghana, making sure you stay ahead and stay connected, because we understand what makes your business tick.
Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
MTN.
No stress. Submit your insurance claim online in just seconds on the Claims Express portal. Simply upload your national ID, cost estimates, pictures, and more to get started. Submit online, track progress, and get paid fast. Skip the paperwork and get back on the road with ease. Visit claimexpress.enterprisegroup.net.gh for easy claims and quick payouts with absolutely no stress.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Ready. Springboard Roadshow 2025 is here, connecting young people to Agric and ATZ. Meet us in Upper East, Northeast, Northern, Upper West, Savannah, Bono East, Ahafo, Bono, Oti, Volta, Eastern, Central, Western, Western North, Ashanti, and we close with the grand finale in Greater Accra, featuring Comfort Ocran.
Be the light in your family. Be the light that when people look at every day, they are illuminated because they realize that there's nothing they can't do because you have dared to do it.
Reverend Albert Ocran.
I meet people in very significant places, and they tell me, when you came to our school and said this, I took it and here I am today.
And a host of many other speakers bringing practical insight, mentorship, and energy to every stop. Expect hands-on trainings, education, inspiration, and discover amazing opportunities in Agric and ATVET. Entry is free, but registration is required. Dial *718*50# to register now or call 0308-255-775. Subscribe and follow us on all social media platforms at Springboard channel for updates. Springboard Roadshow is brought to you by Mastercard Foundation, Springboard Roadshow Foundation and partners. Springboard Roadshow 2025, 16 regions, 500,000 youth, one amazing experience. See you on the road.
Learn something new every week and be inspired by innovations, impact, and success stories of individuals making strides in the agricultural, agribusiness, technical, and vocational skills sectors on Ghana Grows Ejuma with Arabo Kumsin and Yabitha. Join us this and every Thursday on Facebook at 7 p.m. at Ghana Grows, also at Comfort Ocran A and at Albert N.E. Ocran. On Fridays at 4 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM and on Sundays at 5:45 p.m. on TV3. Ghana Grows is an initiative of Mastercard Foundation in partnership with the Springboard Roadshow Foundation. If you are a young person and you want to be a part of our various interventions, call or WhatsApp Ghana Grows call center on 0308-255-775. Follow us on all our social media handles. Ghana Grows Ejuma. Hope Day.
My name is Diana. I love to watch Springboard Virtual University because I get to be inspired most of the time by the various personalities that come on the show, and I believe it's highly educative as well.
I like this program so much because of its educational and a sense of motivation with people from various backgrounds, from all walks of life, coming in to educate not just we students but also the general public.
Springboard Virtual University is an impactful program where you get to hear the opinions of your favorite celebrities economically, educationally.
Springboard, your virtual university, is an impactful program which has impacted the youth a lot.
I like Springboard, your virtual university, because I get to see celebrities and interact with them and get to know their human side.
Nadede Ato. Hello, Nadede. I would like to see Shatawali.
I would want to see Joe Metal there.
Fifi Folsom.
I'd like to see Diana Hamilton there.
To see Okyeame Kwame. Springboard,
your virtual university.
This series captures the spirit, creativity, and inspiration that have defined Springboard over the years through powerful performances, engaging conversations, and unforgettable stories from some of Ghana's finest minds and talents. Stay tuned for 6 String, Rhyme Sonny, and Ofosua as they blend music, poetry, and storytelling into a symphony of thought and emotion, celebrating 17 years of ideas that move generations. And finally, after 17 years of asking the questions, Reverend Albert Ocran takes the guest seat for a change. In this powerful conversation with Jessie Japan, the tables turn as Reverend Ocran shares rare insights on his personal journey, leadership lessons, and the heartbeat behind the Springboard, your virtual university. It's Springboard at 17 on the road. Don't miss any of these episodes on Springboard, your virtual university, on Sunday 7 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM and Springboard channel on YouTube, and 9 p.m. on Joy News TV. Springboard, your virtual university. Your personal value will shoot up.
Welcome back to Springboard, your virtual university, and to this special series of interactions celebrating Springboard at 17. In the first part, we had our friend Okyeame Kwame first performing and then answering questions from myself and from the young people. This is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. We also got to hear some thoughts from the streets, the alleys, the cornerways, and the coffee tables of life about how your virtual university has interacted with you over the past 17 years. Guess what? I have another big personality coming up. Are you ready? He's a poet, he's an author, now he's an osofo, a pastor, but here at the Virtual University, he's part of the big family, one big family here at the Virtual University. Let's welcome Nana Asaase.
Nana,
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And how does it feel to be osofo and poet?
It feels like stepping into divine timing.
Divine timing.
Exactly how it feels like.
The timing is right
The
for
timing
first
is
a
just
performance, and then we'll have a conversation.
A performance.
Enjoy it.
Ago. Salamu alaikum. Salamu alaikum. Salamu alaikum. I knew somebody who lived down this lane. He's no more, but his name was Salim. Peace be unto your souls. Salim, great Salim. I heard you died chasing a rat into its hole. Your feet slipped in the mud. Your head hit stone. Your blood nourished the earth. You have fallen asleep since then and you have not woken. Salim, your wives will not eat. Salim, the birds call your boast, yet you do not respond. They hum and carp and strum the strings. Their purses are half full and their sweat is enough to pay your daughter's dowries. Salim, great Salim. Salim, your debtors have bought new cloth. How do I know? Because they came to your house to greet your benevolent absence. And I was wondering why you did not pick up that cannon voice of yours and boom them to cower in their wives' kitchens with your threat to squeeze gold coins out of their fears. Salim, great Salim. Salim, your clansmen and your kinsmen, they have split your heads and your harem among themselves. Salim, poor Salim. I heard you died chasing a rat into its hole. Mpenimbe company sem, ofrabeto anansem. Ni akenye na wunyamensem. Our shadows would find their places on the walls. I'm the writer king who sips communion wine from the calabash. A friend in Nana Asaase, or Mama Kwenjebi Wafase. Medasi.
You know, Nana, anytime I see you on the national platforms, at traditional ceremonies, at private events, plying your craft, my mind goes back to several years ago when our paths crossed. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Very, very long time ago. Don't tell them how many years ago. But over the years, we think about Springboard at 17, and we think about relevance. The fact that 17 years later, we still are having these conversations and they still mean a lot to us. What have you learned about how to stay relevant in a rapidly evolving and changing world?
Okay, very good question. Rev, I have always maintained that change is the only dynamic constant. Change is the only dynamic constant. Like we say, culture is dynamic. Every other thing else is dynamic. And so doing very difficult things, especially placing one foot in front of the other, that's how we make progress. So I also came to learn that consistency produces results. What did I do that brought me here? I don't stop doing those things. I have not stopped writing. I have not stopped reading. I have not stopped meditating. I have not stopped connecting with people. I have not stopped listening to others who do the things I do. I have not stopped taking critique and criticism. I have not stopped going to sit at the feet of my fathers, the professors, the old women, the children who have taught me and brought me to this point. Every time I stand at a point or stand before an audience, I realize I represent so many millions of young Ghanaians and Africans who, because of time and circumstance, cannot be here. And so I have to be here to embody them. I have to represent them so well so that next time it might be the turn of another creative. It might not be a poet. Somebody might dare to bring another young person, another poet, another creative, to give them that same opportunity. Seeing that when I stood in their stead as an ambassador, I did a fantastic job to prove that indeed young people are future leaders. Reb, what we mean by future leaders? They simply are trying to tell us that we shouldn't think or take initiative before our time. No. As future leaders, it's our time to train the future the way to go, so that when it grows up and we are much older, it knows to treat us with some respect. And that is exactly how my journey has been.
Let's get let's get into your engine room as a poet.
Yes.
Which is more difficult, the creation of a piece or the performance?
The creation or the delivery. When a woman is in labor, she does not rejoice. Creation is not a simple matter. But after she has delivered, she calls for celebration. So between creation and delivery, that is where the big part is. Because creating has to, where do you get the ideas from? After you've got all the ideas, how do you decide, I want to use this word instead of that? Being very deliberate, doing your audience research, knowing the people you're going to meet, being politically correct. You're meeting an audience for the first time. How will they receive you? So creation is difficult. Delivering is a different realm altogether. I will not give one merit over the other. However, without creation, nothing else can be delivered. So let everybody else be the best chance. Let's go.
Let's explore raw material. Raw material. Where do you find? I mean, you swing from at one point a Yoruba, then to an Ashanti, and then to an Achim, then to a Ga, then to an Ewe, a Dagomba, and you do it almost seamlessly.
Yes, sir.
Where do you draw the material from? Not the inspiration, the material. From.
Okay. So observation. I believe that the body is one big sensory organ. And so the things I see, the things I hear, the people I meet, the books I read, and there's some things which just come by divine inspiration. There are some things you know by knowing. And of course, you don't discount the place of experience. Having done a thing so many times over, you know exactly what to do. I'm faced with a situation, I need to do a performance. I've done my audience research, I realize, okay, I'm having people from different regions of Ghana. How do I ensure cultural inclusion? So our ancestors say, "Asemu here asantefo, and asremufo de go brekete," which means something which is very urgent to the people in the forest region would count as something that can easily be played as music up north. So if you bring a xylophone from the north, cross the forest, and come and place it in front of the sea, what have you done? You have crossed cultures with a matter that is important equally up north through the forest at the same time to be played to the sea, which simply means that cultural relevance can be played across and everybody realizes you spoke in their language. When you speak a man's language, you speak to his soul. Yes. That is what it means.
I'll tell you, talking about cultural context, I found myself in New Ibrim.
Okay.
On one of our Springboard roadshow travels, and we had come the year before and had an amazing time, and we're back to consolidate, follow up the next year to see how the young people we had onboarded were responding, the community was doing, and it had gone so well. So the whole community, the chief, everyone was present, and I was addressing them. Just before I spoke, the Okyeame, you know you are like an Okyeame, called me and said, "Hey, Chief, the last time you were here, you did brilliant, but there was one problem." He says, "You were holding the mic with your right hand. That meant all your gestures were done with your left hand. You can't use your left hand in the face of the chief. That's an insult. So while you did very well in your presentation, there was a bit of unease because, he's using the left hand." So he says, "Chief Winning, you hold the mic with your left hand and do all your gestures with your right. And it will be fine. But to ensure you don't forget, I will sit in front next to Nana." When you make a mistake, I will cross my hand like this. That means put the mic back on the left. And the man sat there and throughout. And naturally, my right hand is stronger, so I love to hold the mic with the right. So anytime I'm talking and I try to move the mic to the right, then he will cross his hand like this, and I'll put the mic back and I'll smile. When they finish, I give him a hefty tip because the people listened, they clapped, and they were fine. No problem. Let's take one more question in this segment. Let's hear from you, Mom.
Hello, Nana Asaase.
Yeah.
My name is Priscilla.
Hi,
Nice
Priscilla.
to meet you. Yes.
Pleasure to meet
Let's
you.
talk about creating your niche.
Yes.
So, from listening to you or watching you, you have a style in which you present your craft. I often hear you speak the Ocran language or English.
Yeah.
So, I want to ask, have you been invited to speak at an event where maybe the audience do not understand maybe the Ocran language?
Yes.
How do you bridge that gap? How do you get them interested, even though maybe the language may be a barrier?
There's something you call audience research. So before I get into a room, who and who will be there? What is the demographic? Where are they from? What language do they speak? Any political affiliations, you know? So I go into the room. If I need an expression in Ghana, I will take my time, go and ask, find out, rehearse it, make sure I'm getting it right. If I need to enter the room and greet them in French, I'll do it. Once I've done greeting everybody in French, I can have the rest of my performance in English or Chi. Nobody will have a problem. Sometimes you have to translate, you know, into various languages. I would say something in Chi, I would have to translate it into English so my audience can pick relevance. But you'll be surprised that poetry has this energy. I have faced audiences who are not Ghanaian, who do not speak a word of Chi. You're done with the performance and they walk up to you. Young man, thank you so much for this. And I wonder what they heard. Someone from South Carolina, member of House of Assembly, way back, his name was Jonil. They were brought to Nobuke Foundation and I met them, I performed poetry in Chi. He walked up to me, young man, you know what? I have a new favorite poet in the world. Thank you very much. And Jonil kept in touch with me for years. I do not know what he had in poetry. Your craft is governed by a spirit. Everything you do is divine. Give attention to your craft. Your craft has no option than to give attention to you. Nobody can take you for granted once you're together with your craft. It's divine that way. So do your audience research, do due diligence, but also leave room for the space of the divine to take over. And what you do is not important. How you do it. How you do it. How you do it. You might make it look so fluid. Somebody is paying attention to that. Someone is paying attention to your gesture. Somebody is paying attention to one bit of the performance. When we watch movies, someone is watching the movie just to listen to the soundtrack. Someone's attention is on costume. Someone's attention is on lighting. Someone's attention is on scripting. So it comes with different lights and all of it. And please make sure that you have information while you are delivering. You're not just there to lead them. A lion has a tail, it has a big head and a very small waist.
But the lion has a tail.
It does. Those are the obvious. Go deeper. Go a step further. Do your extra work. That is how I have faced audiences from.
Go deeper, go further, and do some extra work. And those are the thoughts of Nana Asaase. Now, let's sign up with two questions.
Yes,
The first one is, how do you straddle the world of being a poet and a pastor?
Okay. Being a poet and a pastor.
Do you deliver your sermons in poetry?
So I used to ask God, what is my gift? And then I read, the gift of the Spirit, and prophecy, all of that. And then he introduced me to the gift of word. W-O-R-D. To bless, you need word. To curse, you need word. Whatever you need to do, you need word. In the beginning, he created. So I told myself, if somebody has to die, and the only thing that is needed is word, when I show up, please forget. You can't die. You have to defer it. And so straddling my faith has been my base of everything up to this point. If you do not have faith, take a man's faith and their confidence and you've taken away everything from them. So as a man of God, I believe God respects our culture. That is why I have an Ocran name. That is why someone has a Chinese name. Somebody has, a different perspective. Yet faith is an element that binds us together. Art also becomes a central point that draws us together. And so in delivering to anybody, my craft has equipped me with public speaking skills. It has equipped me with networking skills. And more importantly, I have learned to respect that my congregation are from different backgrounds, different people, you had learned not to take your audience for granted. Do not take your congregation for granted. Whichever message is coming is for you, and it's for them. More importantly, it's for you, then it's for them. And so all my research methods as a poet, all these skills have brought me up to a divine moment. When I deliver my poetry, sometimes I sit back and listen. And I realize something else takes over. Because truth is, what 3 minutes of prayer will give me, 3 hours of rehearsal has never afforded me that level of energy.
I'm going to get you sign off with 3 words.
Yes, sir.
You don't know the words.
I don't.
I also don't know the words.
Yeah.
But you need to give us 3 words to sign off.
3 words.
The 3 words would be, what are the 3 critical success factors if anyone starting their journey in the creative industry wanting to be a poet like Asaase? 3 things that will navigate them from where they are to where they want to be. Number 1,
dream.
Dream. Number 2,
faith.
Faith. And number 3,
consistency.
Number 1, dream. Number 2,
faith.
Number 3,
consistency.
I don't thank you to you, Asaase, for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
I'll tell you what, that is why we call it the virtual university. The syllabus and everything is created right here. You matriculate in the beginning and you graduate at the end. Your virtual university brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation and in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between Mastercard Foundation and Springboard. As we speak, the train is meandering through the country as we connect with over 500,000 young people that have signed on to the Ghana Growth Program. It's a transformation taking place, one person, one young person at a time, and the world will never be the same again. Join us next week on this conversation as we continue to explore Springboard at 17 with many more of our friends, just hanging out and just sharing the experience with an amazing group of young people. My name is Albert Ocran, saying God bless you, God bless you, and God bless you.